What's up, Clyde? It's Danny, and I am really excited to be here kicking off our new series, Like, Follow, Share. Now, I want you to take a minute and think about social media for a second. Some of you, maybe you're all about Instagram, and you love posting things. You love taking selfies and putting stuff out on your story. You're just all about the gram. You love that. Maybe there's others of you. I know that you're still trying to keep your Snap streak alive, and not really sure how you're doing that, but that's what you do. You love Snapchat. And maybe there's others of you that you find yourself scrolling for hours and hours and getting lost in the black hole that's called TikTok. Right? Maybe that's you. I know that can happen to me sometimes. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you got a couple of minutes after dinner, and so all right, I'm going to watch a couple videos, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh no, I'm late for the bus. TikTok. You know what I'm talking about. You went through the night, you're going to be late getting to school. That's not you? Maybe it's me. I don't know. Don't judge me. And maybe there's others of you that you don't have social media yet, and you just can't wait for the day that you can get it. And so you just find yourself scrolling on YouTube, watching TikTok video compilations on YouTube, or you're constantly looking like over your friend's shoulder at their Instagram account. And here's what we know. Is that social media thrives on likes, follows, and shares to get their message out. And even though social media is still somewhat new to our world, that concept of like, following, and sharing to get our message out is not a new concept. As a matter of fact, Jesus used like, follow, and share to get his message out to the world. After his resurrection, Jesus gave us this challenge in Mark 16:15. He says, go into all the world and preach the good news to everyone. As a follower of Jesus, man, that's what we should be doing. Is we should be doing everything we can to help people like Jesus, follow Jesus, and then ultimately share Jesus with others. So let's talk about what it means to like Jesus. Did people like Jesus because he looked good, because he always had really nice clothes, he was always wearing the latest style of sandals, or he was always riding the latest model of camel? Like what was it? Why did people actually like Jesus? Well, here's the thing, is that wherever Jesus went, people were amazed at his teaching. But not only his teaching, what also was the reason why people liked Jesus is because he showed care and compassion to people. He treated people with kindness and love, even people that were outcasts. And so I want you to look with me, take your Bible and turn to Luke chapter 19 and verse 1. And it says this, and Jesus entered Jericho and made his way through the town. And there was a man there named Zacchaeus. He was the chief tax collector in the region, and he became very rich. And he tried to get a look at Jesus, but he was too short to see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree beside the road, for Jesus was going to pass that way. And when Jesus came by, he looked up at Zacchaeus and called him by name. Zacchaeus, he said, quick, come down. I must be a guest in your home today. And Zacchaeus quickly climbed down and took Jesus to his house in great excitement and joy. But the people were displeased. He has gone to be the guest of a notorious sinner, they grumbled. Meanwhile, Zacchaeus stood before the Lord and said, I will give half my wealth to the poor. Lord, and if I have cheated people on their taxes, I will give them back 4 times as much. Jesus responded, salvation has come to this home today, for this man has shown himself to be a true son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save those who are lost. In Jesus' day, the religious leaders and teachers, they viewed themselves as like above everybody else. They were set apart. They didn't interact with the lower class. They would never even consider going into somebody else's home for dinner. And then you have Zacchaeus, who was a tax collector. And now in that day, man, tax collectors were some of the most hated people in that society. Like they had their own category of bad. There's different times that you would hear people talk, and they would talk about sinners and tax collectors. Like, they were so evil, people hated them so much that they weren't even lumped in with the rest of the sinners. They had their own category. Yet Jesus chose to spend time with Zacchaeus, right? Jesus, that's why people liked him, is that he wasn't picky about who he chose to be around. So here's what I want you to get, is that people like Jesus because he came close to them. Jesus was different from everyone else because he didn't care about who people were or what was wrong with them. Jesus cared for them and loved them and wanted to spend time with them. That's why people loved to be around Jesus. You see, Jesus, there was something about Jesus that was and still is irresistible, which is why people want to be around him. And here's the thing, is that the more that you spend time with Jesus, the more that you get to know him, the more you want to be around him. You see, even if people were completely full of sickness, pain, right? They stopped at nothing to see Jesus. They did anything that they could to spend time with Jesus. Like take Zacchaeus, right? He climbed a tree because he wanted to see Jesus. And here's the big idea, is that you don't have to be like Jesus to like Jesus. And I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to take a fresh look at the life of Jesus. And as we read about who Jesus is, we see time and time again that the people that like Jesus were nothing like Jesus. Tax collectors, sinners, fishermen, politicians, regular people, outcasts, right? They loved spending time with Jesus because he cared for them and he loved them. I don't want you to fall into the trap of thinking that you have to be perfect before you can like Jesus, that you have to somehow clean up your life before you can actually like Jesus. Because you see, that's not what Jesus says. Jesus is waiting for you. He's inviting you to come to him, and he loves you, and he's waiting for you with open arms. And so what does it mean to like Jesus? How can we do that today? Well, the good news is that Jesus isn't just a historical figure that we have to read about, but that we can't actually know. No, Jesus is alive. He's living and breathing, and he wants to get to know each of you, each of us today. And so, how will you respond to him today?